None at this time. We'll move on to reports and communications, beginning with Councilmember Cardoza.
All right. We've had an exciting 2 weeks. I'm going to start off with meetings. I attended a Regional Housing Authority meeting, which we are bringing up here. We got a project going, the Richland Village Apartment Project. It's going to be another 176 units of affordable housing. So it's going to be a great project that we're working on. We hope to get that brought forward early spring, and then they'll be coming to council for the tax break once again, like we did last year for the one that's being built right now. But that's on the books for early spring of 2021. I was part of the Feather River Air Quality Management Board Finance Committee for the Blue Sky Grant. So I was part of the team that helped get the money for the city for the crosswalk in that one area. Attended the Yuba City Unified School District Government Liaison meeting. We discussed what's happening and what's going to be going on in the future. For chamber events, we had an ambassadors meeting last night. It went from in-house to virtual. Yesterday afternoon, they changed it to Zoom. We had a couple of ribbon cuttings. We had Esteban's Tacos and Burgers in Live Oak. They've expanded from out of the restaurant into their new location, doing great for the city of Live Oak, part of our chamber. Also, for community and city events, attended the our senior center senior health fair. We passed out gift bags, or not gift, but bags to over 125 seniors. Gave them little goodies, what they can deal with, and also gave them what's going on with our senior center, that we were back open. This was a few weeks ago. We were back open and telling them the events and stuff that was going on. Attended the DBA swearing in of the new board of officers with Councilman Shaw and mayor and vice mayor. We saw the new members, and had a great time there. I attended the Yuba Center Eats. This last 3 days, I picked one day and didn't do all three. There was 24 restaurants in Yuba Center County that participated in it. It was a great turnout. I hit a couple on Saturday, and there was people from everywhere in the community that was a good turnout for the establishments. So that was a good time there. The Adventist Health and Urgent Care Clinic, they were supposed to have ribbon cutting yesterday. And due to COVID, they had canceled it. And council, in the last 4 years of me being the ambassador representing the city, we give them a certificate of achievement, welcome new businesses in our community to help prosper and make our city great. So I met with Rick Rawson, the president of Adventist Health, and gave him the plaque, represented us and gave it to him. That way, they're part of the team, and I wanted to make sure that happened. And then last but not least, the museum is closed again, but our gift shop is open. We're open Monday through Friday from 1 to 5, Saturdays from 12 to 4. And I guess that's going to be my last events for community events for the city.
Indeed, and thank you very much for that, Manny. I really appreciate that. You've always very, very active. You got a long list all the time. Your dedication, enthusiasm, motivation for this city is without question. So thank you very much for that. We will see you next Tuesday. And but thank you so much for everything you've done, and we'll continue to do, no doubt. Thank you so much. Ms. Espandola. Sorry.
Sure, Mr.
Caught myself immediately, so give me a break.
Harris. Sorry, that's it. I forgot your last name for a minute. No. All good kidding aside. Manny, Councilman Cardoza, I want to thank you so much for all of the years of your service that you've done for our city. There's no one, in my belief, that has a greater or bigger heart of the work that you've done. And all of these events that you go to or that you show up, you're always there 100%. Truly for the love of the city. And I can never master that or be equal to you in that way. So I would love to just acknowledge your service and the work that you've done for this city. And plus, you also worked for the city many, many years, so you're retired from here. So your service is way more than I will ever be able to master or reach your level. Thank you so much. So last, we had a meeting, a small meeting, and just to kind of have a discussion about emergency preparedness with Vice Mayor Boomgarden and Police Chief and Fire Chief and myself. So we'll be reporting more of that in the future. The RWA meeting occurred, and Ms. Langley already mentioned how much she loves water. One of the things that within that group is that the city, our city prefers to have water from Oroville Dam area than from Central California. And so we had that discussion. I did not attend this last meeting, but we've had this discussion within the realm of this group to help us be prepared when there is potentially droughts or shortage of water. I also, as I mentioned earlier, I am requesting that a certificate really, is put together for the Homeless Consortium and acknowledging the work through the Homeless Consortium and including our police department and part of that recognition as well. And a couple more things. With the League of Cities, I'm reappointed into the Revenue and Taxation Committee for the Sacramento Valley Division, so I will be doing that again for another year. I was reappointed. And lastly, I just want to say that within my family, as you all know, there's been COVID-19 has been a big issue in our family, and I just want our community that if overall, my concern is about people's well-being in our community, and the health of well-being impacts our economy. And I have this conversation daily with community members who are consumers or people that are small business owners, and their concerns about us defeating this virus and having some normalcy in our lives is truly a big issue for our community. And I hope that we can get this taken care of all together as one. And so, I wear a mask, social distance, limit your social gatherings. I have bubbles where people I group with, and some, we make adjustments. And, I get the flu shot. I didn't get the flu shot for many years, and they're saying, it's a good thing to get the flu shot. Will I get the new vaccine? I'm going to wait for a little bit, see how that looks, but I'll probably end up getting the vaccine for COVID-19. One thing that someone sent me was that I'm hoping that this issue doesn't cause for someone to go to a person's funeral and end up in a really bad situation like our family. And within that also, healthcare providers, I work with them closely. They are tired. They are mentally exhausted. Not Dr. Lou, just her and the team around that. Healthcare providers, I talk to pharmacists, to doctors, to nurses. Local healthcare providers are exhausted, and they're needing us to help them with defeating COVID-19. And my transition to this is horrible, but I'm going to do it. We do have some vacancies in our commissions. If you're interested, we have the Economic Development Commission. Sierra did these wonderful applications. We have Parks and Rec Commissions, and we have the Planning Commission. And with all that, I also want to wish our Vice Mayor a happy birthday, and I'm going to not share his cake, but thank you.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Shaw.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. First of all, Councilmember Cardoza, your license plate says, heart of Yuba City. I've said it before, I think you're probably one of the greatest ambassadors that we've had with our city. You represent us well with the heart of the city out there, so thank you for what you've done. I was looking forward to spending a few more years with you up here, but I know you're going to be around in the community, and this isn't goodbye. We still got a couple more weeks, so continue on, my friend, and continue doing good for the city. And I wish you the best in everything. So, following up on other comments, I'll just say it as it is. I think everybody's tired. You know, whether you're healthcare, whether you're a business owner, we've said it before. We'll all get through this together. Use common sense. No reason to belay lingering what we already all know and we're all feeling, but everybody is tired. With that, the last couple of weeks been extremely busy. A lot of ad hoc committee works, Mr. Mayor, with the vice mayor and myself. I will just leave it with the Bogue Stewart Master Plan Tax Sharing Agreement. We'll just leave that one right where it's at for right now. I'm not overly energetic about it. But I'm really hoping that we can get it across that finish line, but I'm disappointed in some of the things that has happened in the last few weeks, and I will just leave it at that. But I'm really hopeful that we can finally get it there. The other has been the ad hoc committee for the city manager recruitment. That is moving forward on schedule, on track. We had a very robust applicant pool, and the vice mayor and myself has been very diligently working with our recruitment firm, and very optimistic that in the future we will have the right fit for our city, and we will continue to move forward. But saying that, I definitely want to say that we have been at no lax for a city manager. Ms. Langley, thank you. You fill the interim position like no other. You go beyond and above the call of duty. You did it once before. You did it a second time. And the public needs to know that straight up. You're rock solid. And I really thank you for everything that you've done. So with that, I'll keep it brief, and we'll report out in a few more weeks. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Vice Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Councilman Cardoza and I go way back, spending many evenings, sometimes in the middle of the night, taking care of people, and it's been a true pleasure. And your help when I came on the city council and guidance and support were very much appreciated. There'll be more to say in a couple weeks, but it's been said here, I don't think anybody loves Yuba City more than Manny Cardoza, and impressed, always. A lot of meetings over the last couple weeks, weekly meetings with Dr. Lou on the phone, listening to, the COVID ebbs and flows, and interesting that, they sort of predicted that we would see a surge, and we're seeing it. There's all kinds of opinions about what that is, but the bottom line is COVID is real, and it is, to Councilwoman Espindola's comments, we need to take reasonable precautions. We can all have different opinions about businesses being open and closed, et cetera, and it's not my point here today to debate that, but I think we all should be responsible for our own personal health. And if you feel like you need to wear a mask, by all means wear it. If you feel like you need to wash your hands, by all means do that. That's what we do to stay away from any disease. So enough said about that for now. I sat on a countywide oversight committee, which is a committee that's tasked with managing the best way to put it is managing the aftermath of the redevelopment agencies. And at this last meeting, the city was requested to, and rightfully so, justify its requested expenses. And I know that Spencer Morrison will be taking care of that. but annually we make a request to cover costs associated with managing the properties, disposing of the properties, et cetera. So for the council anyway, that's a task that's in front of us. Sat on LAFCO. Want to thank Mr. Moody for his efforts on the municipal services review and the sphere of influence. Both of those, this is for the Bogue Stewart Master Plan area. Both of those, these are a lot more successful than our master tax exchange agreement. But we do have a municipal service review that was approved, presented and approved, and a sphere of influence. So the city's sphere of influence has been increased, and it does set the stage for the potential annexation of areas south of Yuba City, should those property owners desire to do so. But it is contingent upon a tax exchange agreement. So we're continuing to fight that battle. On the subject of the master tax exchange agreement, a couple last minute movements of the goalpost, in my opinion. Is the project dead in the water? No, not at all. But we'll have to sort through that. They came as a little bit of a surprise to us. But again, we have good partnerships with the county, and I'm confident that we can work through those. The DBA swearing-in process down at Sopatai, a lot of excitement in the Plymouth Street area, and I hope like heck that we can continue to keep that area moving forward. City manager process, as Councilman Shaw mentioned, this is a extremely important process for the city. We are getting great guidance from our colleagues, Councilman Cardoza, Councilwoman Espandola, I got that right, and the mayor in regards to the type of person that we want to bring on board here to lead our city. We do continue to anticipate that person being on board sometime during January of 2021 if things continue to progress. With that being said, that concludes my comments, and I'll turn it back to you, Mr. Mayor.
All right, thank you very much. I'm going to be brief, or avoid repeating things that have been said. One of my biggest responsibilities, I think, outside of this room, is my role on our board of directors down in SACOG, and it's been quite busy. We haven't had a recent meeting of the board that is coming up on Thursday. However, I do belong to two subcommittees, the transportation subcommittee. We talked about a lot of things. The main thing that came up was the regional trail network that we're working on. Sacramento and all the communities affected by SACOG, they want to have an integrated network of trails, providing mostly not just recreation and fitness, but transportation for folks to get to and from, and kind of reduce the greenhouse gas emissions and get people out of their cars. So we have a project here. We've been approved for a feasibility study here at our trail, which is right now it's empty land, the Union Pacific Railroad property. However, we are looking forward to that. That came up. Also, Sabufka canceled. Gil-Sizer was canceled. I also belong to, as a part of SACOG, another subcommittee, Race, Equity, and Inclusion subcommittee, to where those SACOG, we're trying to examine our policies, our procedures, all the way down to HR issues to see if there's ways that we may be unintentionally being unfair and inequitable in our policies and the way we make decisions. And so they did hire a consultant. The consultant gave us a 29-page report that included not only some statements and opinions, but from board members and the public, but some options moving forward to make us better. And so we are going to take some of those and come up to the full board at an upcoming meeting, probably in December. An opportunity to attend the government liaison meeting with Yuba City Unified School District, and Diana, of course, was present as well. She had an opportunity to tout the Safe Routes to School projects that we're going through. It was, of course, and the school district, of course, very appreciative of that. I was honored to have been asked to do a speech for the KUBA, the annual event the KUBA does for the Hometown Hero. This, of course, this year was a virtual awards ceremony, so after about take number 75 in my backyard, I got to put together 90 seconds of a greeting, celebrating so many community heroes. I mean, the list is really long and distinguished, so I don't want to try to run off the top of my head because I'm going to forget somebody and accidentally. I also spoke at Yuba City Rotary Luncheon, basically kind of a miniature state of the city address for them. They had some very good questions, a really good group of people. Want to thank the ad hoc committee, primarily these two gentlemen here working on some very important projects right now. Not that what we all do isn't, but I tell you, this is stuff that's going to have a lasting effect, and I appreciate the work you're doing on the front end before things come to the full council. Let's see, we did all that. Manny, I know we've already touched on it a little bit, but next here in a couple weeks, it's going to be a bigger room, there maybe an off-site. And so here, for what it's worth, in the comfort and familiarity of our family room, from me to you, thank you so much. Not only as your mayor, fellow council member, but a resident of Yuba City. It's already been said, and I couldn't agree more that you do a hell of a job out there. You're the best representative and face and ambassador and mascot we could ever have. So thank you very much. And I know you, like Dave said, you're not going to disappear. But you and Kathy are a fixture around town. And thank you so much for everything. And we'll see you in a couple weeks. Tonight, I want to close in memory of Sardarni Gurbash Kaur Didbal, and please forgive me if I mispronounced, but she recently passed away. I know she was up there in years, but she was the mother of former Mayor Preet Didbal. Ms. Didbal passed away, and I know that she's been here several times in our council chambers attending meetings in support of us and in support of Preet. And it was no doubt how much she was loved and admired by her family. And may she rest in peace. Thank you all very much, and we'll see you in a couple weeks.